at lunch. I had some banana bread.
Yeah, I gotta.
There's no mics in there, right?
No mics, yeah. Yeah, no mics. Is Joe's name with an O or an E? I think it's an O, right?
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
yeah. Mics are live now.
Yes, our mics are live. We are online.
Okay, cool.
No, I think Joe's just a skinny guy and gets cold easy. I don't know. He's definitely a little overdressed for the room.
It's just the style. It's the Seattle style.
How's it going, Nether? What's up? Another streamer?
So
I mean, we've got two guys with us. You can try. I'm not sure if this mic works or not, but you're welcome to try and jump in. Yeah. How's it going?
Hey, well, this is fun.
Yeah, it'll be good to have you commentating on Joe here. I know you guys play a lot together.
One of the mics. Working, but I would maybe discuss
I'm gonna plug this in. I'm like,
Yeah,
let's see.
might have just not been turned on. I've got all the audio inputs unmuted, so.
Or it might be I can't hear that mic and the stream can hear the mic, but I can't hear it.
Anyways, we've got Phil Asen in the booth here with us.
I can't hear them.
Oh, you can't hear anything there? Okay.
I figured it out.
I just can't hear Phil.
Yeah, he can't hear us either, so
That's fair.
you can grab Dan if you want. He might be able to figure out how to get you plugged in here.
All right, so this matchup looks like Bill's playing his modified version of the Bastion Shadow Collective deck with the Hollow Table, which is pretty clever because you play a bunch of masterful moves to pull your Phantom Menace, so why not put some activation in?
They actually put guys there to drain too?
No, I don't think
Oh,
so.
okay.
That would be pretty funny.
Strange turn of events.
Not playing Maul, he's just drawing. Phase 1. I think this is personally, I think this is favored for Quimmuning. As long as you don't give up another site.
What if you add me as another channel in there?
It's
You're welcome to try. I don't
Let's
know
see.
how to work
it's
this.
hard for Shadow Collective to go toe to toe with a bunch of immune Jedi,
That's what interview.
but we'll see.
Yeah, and I mean, unless they got some characters that add to those blaster draws, they're having a hard time hitting them as well.
Yeah, I think the general line for Quimmuning is that you're being a defensive perimeter. Because he can't deploy when they have a character there. You just get him out. He is putting a sight down. So now that he put this sight down, it allows for Shadow Collective to ignore ignore a sight and just try to satisfy resistance.
Yeah, that's mixed
Um,
combos.
And I think that's not the greatest. But we go either way.
Like I said, you can grab Dan. I'm sure he'd be able to figure it out, but I did not know how. Sorry about I think Phil was trying to get his microphone plugged in, and I'm not sure if he succeeded or not. I don't think he did. So we'll get that set up next time and possibly have another commentator on site here.
Pulls out the farm and draws. There's a clash. Either a stick or a landing club. Going know how to do. Saves 2, says go.
I have to turn it on in Discord.
Also 7, 8, 9, 10. So Joe activates 10. Like he's pulling a sight or a maybe.
Give it a
I
test.
assume
See if
Maul.
they can
I
hear
assume
you.
Maul is in the group.
Can you hear me now?
Pulled out a sight.
Can you hear Charlie or Phil now, Charlie? Good. Say something.
Something.
I can hear him through your mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said we have to activate it in Discord.
I just don't think that
do
headset is set up. Or maybe is there a mute button on your headset? Maybe check the headset.
We're
See if
working
there's a
on
button
it.
on it.
Do you know how to do it here?
Let's see. Just have to get in.
Can you hear through that headset, Phil?
Turn on the settings right there.
More drawing.
Yeah, we'll get down on it later.
More sight.
We're gonna tap in later,
Right on.
so disrupt his game.
So you can hear him, but I can't hear him.
I'm gonna speak really loud, they'll still hear me.
Yeah. Not that I closed Discord. Shit.
Are both headsets hooked up to the same computer, I assume?
Yes.
I think it's just because I'm not... Because I can only hear you through Discord. I can't hear you through... I don't know if Discord would pick up 2 mics like that.
Alright, so we're on light side turn 2 now.
Yes. Light side turn 2.
No deployment on this game so far.
No, it's like Jill save 4. And still has not deployed Maul for some reason. I'm not sure. He's worried about a spy. I guess specifically Ezra.
Try that. Same time about that.
It's definitely going to lead to to an interesting interactive game if there's nothing on the board yet, in my opinion.
It's sort of interesting that Joe hasn't committed yet to a site. Like,
Yeah, usually Shadow Collective wants to hit the table fast and start causing damage pretty fast, is my understanding of the deck.
well, what turn is this on? Is this looks like this is Jeff's turn 2?
That's what we said, yeah, light side turn
Okay.
2.
Yeah. So Joe's got a decent force level. He was just wanting to get a large hand. That's why.
Oh, sorry.
Well, Shadow Collective likes to push damage, except when they're going to challenge all your sites. So, I mean, playing slow against a main deck is probably okay.
So one of the things you'll see,
It's not like, you know,
a lot of times they
old
want to
allies
start
you're going to try to
force
get a
the issue
character out
early
every
because you just
turn.
put down because you have mind tricks. Put any guy down at the 3rd marker with a gun, and it sort of like just starts the chess clock, if you will. It forces the light side to do something, so they're not just eating 3 damage. And that means Luke Jedi Master and Quimmuning can't just deploy to that site directly unless they got like, let's see, this is Quimmuning, so there's no layer of a princess. So yeah, like they can't deploy Luke to that site. So it makes it kind of awkward for Quimmuning to figure out what to do. I mean, Quimmuning wants to get guys on the table and keep them on the table. Shadow Collective very much wants to run Quimmuning out of guys. So one of the things with Joe being slower here is that we have a goodly number of very high destiny cards. So by being slower, he can set up more of those combos to be able to start actually just shooting Jedi right through Wisas and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, it does definitely make it awkward if you can't just deploy Luke to defensive perimeter. Because a lot of times that's where all the fighting happens. examined Danik Jericho. The Danik adds a destiny while he has a blaster. And he's good. He makes his power forfeit -2 when he hits them, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's forfeit -2 when he hits.
Power level.
Power on forfeit, yeah.
Hey guys.
Hey. How's it
There's
going?
Cad Bane. Alright, so look at this.
Pretty
Master
good.
move to go to the Phantom Menace.
Got back from grocery shopping.
Nice.
Interesting.
So we're about 3 turns in with Joe versus Lavigne.
Has Lavigne played anything?
No, not yet.
I mean, he's played some sites.
Thanks. Yeah. It looks like he's missing all his sights though.
Yeah,
Because
because normally what you would do to accelerate that is that's what the use piles are for. And getting those pulls by going into having in sight, but he didn't want to do that. So, yeah, I'm curious to see what those first couple turns were. Because he saved a bunch, though. Yeah, this would be interesting. So Joe does bring Maul out with Phantom Menace. That's kind of interesting. Because your ability to shoot stuff is better when Maul is on the table, so you don't really want him to die, but at least in the early stages here, it's not like Quimmuning's Destiny is really going to support going after Maul unless they get like an Anakin swinging a +1/+1. Maul's really hard to hit with Phantom Menace. Defense value effectively 9.
yeah. And it's also, I think, for Quimmuning, it's hard. It's going to be hard for him to ignore that site. Like, it's a really stacked site, but, like, Shadow Collective is at an advantage when it can spread out. So, if he ignores that site, I think Shadow Collective is favored. So he's going to have to, probably going to have to attack it.
We'll see. One of the things about playing playing Quimmuning, right, is he's got 3 or 4 sabers that all add to drains. So the thing is, he can stack up at that site there at the farm, get some use searches out of this, and bring down a couple of sabers, and actually be ready to match damage or even exceed. But he's got to have the sights, so it's where are the sights? Where's the sights? He's clearly having trouble getting with activation. So this probably is a Twix puller right here.
Yeah, and he can also just get a nice, comfortable stack and then first aid combo over. Oh, that's also an option.
Yeah, it's just hard to have like a comfortable stack. I mean, moving in front of that, like,
Yeah.
it's already 2 guns, and none of the EGPs
Yeah.
are down, so he's got more access in hand for sure. He's getting 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, and so he can easily drop a couple more dudes onto that pile and have 4 or 5 shots.
Oh yeah, I mean it's not ideal, but I feel like it's hard to race Shadow Collective with this like this, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, seeing who's got whether it's the Ellis, the Lana combo, the Odin, the Nabran, like, have to see what happens. Like, there's some maneuvering I would expect. I'd be very surprised if they both just sit here and swap damage repeatedly. You'll Be Dead doing damage for free is helpful for Shadow Collective. As they get to multiple sites.
Well, and like I was saying earlier, it's like if one of the reasons Quimmuning is good against Shadow Collective, in my opinion, is because you don't have to put a site out. But if you put a site out, now Shadow Collective can go its other 2 first light sites and then play Ultimatum, and then it's who cares if they have a bunch of sticks there? It's only going to be 2.
Yeah.
And you're activating your objective, so you're pinging with that, and you'll be dead. And now that all your mains are dedicated to that one site, they have to figure out how to attack you through mind tricks and all your guns. And
yeah, it's all about character. Like it's interesting, right? Because from the Quimmuning player here, the main thing you're trying to count is the guns. Like, every time you can use Sorry About the Mess, Clash of Sabers, any other things you can do to get those guns off the table, that can be really helpful to limit their ability to spread, their ability to do damage. Similarly, Shadow Collective is paying attention to the number of sabers and the ability to get those back, because the more sabers they can keep in the lost pile, that neuters all the characters that are coming after him. So it's all about getting weapons off the table here.
Yeah. She did pay to drain, did 3 damage.
Yeah, both players throwing 3 damage at each other right now. Jeff did peel his 2/2 sight, the battle planes, to the force drain, though, I noticed.
Yeah, if there's a situation where going to the battle planes makes sense, the game is probably gone horribly wrong.
I guess there are enough battlegrounds on the table
Yeah,
already.
there's already the 4.
Right.
You're better off if you can get like Chewie or Solo to the Drain +1 smuggler site. Try and make that the second one you go after.
So Prince Caesar goes down. Now he has to make the decision if he wants to pull the other side out or a gun. But he's getting an extra activation there, so that helps.
But I'll go for the gun, because this is what Shadow Collective wants to do. It wants to like win trades. Like, so you give Caesar a gun, and say Mace Windu comes down against him even. The thing is, like, he very likely, with Maul on table, ends up peeling several cards to keep Mace on table, even if he does take Shizor off, and that just sends the gun to the used. That's like a best case scenario. If he actually does pull out like a 7 and there's no blaster deflection, then things get really saucy. So we'll see what the trades are here. Like, Jeff does not want to trade 1 for 1. He wants to put his guys down and keep them on the table.
Well, another thing is he saw the sight, so I think that means the next turn he probably will miss it unless he flips. So now he's gonna shuffle all those cards back and hope that he puts the sight back on the bottom. I think so he can get it out, because eventually he's gonna want all 3 sights out.
Sand effect coming down for Jeff.
He's got 13. Looks like he's got 1 saved. So he's 14 forced to bring to bear. And if he does the pseudo 3PO, that takes out a force pile. So that's just 13 cards to display.
Did he take? He didn't take the council chamber. I thought he saw the council chamber in his used pile.
He probably had the speak and he activated it. Like, he draws the speak, he activates council chamber, and so he grabs the Wisa to get B and C because he didn't have any way to get it out, and then this turn you'll see him speak for it.
Okay.
It's usually what you would see that. Yeah, I think I saw it in his hand there.
Well, there's a mace in his hand.
Yeah, tempo-wise, Jeff's definitely behind, having trouble finding the activation. And yeah, like, on one hand, it's weird, because the use piles help, because like, oh, he's able to pull activation, but at the same time, it forced him to have to go to Tatooine. So those are like docking bays, for example, and he's able to pull them out while giving him no force. Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Isn't he activating 13 right now?
At the moment, he's got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9,
13,
10,
yeah.
13. Yes.
I mean, Quimmuning should be activating way more than that, but it's still not a bad amount.
So he can drain and deploy mace to Prince Caesar this turn. And the stick was in his in his reserve deck.
So that looked like 3 to drain to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that BB-90 and a couple off the top.
Yeah, so 3 high destinies.
Oof. Oof.
I'm sure Joe's got some tricks here to back up that Shizor. It seems a bit risky to leave him alone, otherwise a barrier or something.
So the key is the mind tricks, like starting that effect. So there's going to be an errata coming into effect later that will remove that. But yeah, that's
Right,
like
the
that.
kick
That in many
effects.
ways is what powers this deck, is that you can just do
It
that.
lets you play so recklessly like that.
Yeah, you don't have to like draw their fire because it's just an effect.
Right.
Plays that play, which yeah, and the thing is the gun goes used, so it's like
You lose 1 card.
whatever they the thing is they bring like 1 guy, and if you hit them, you add a destiny to power. Like you can can actually overflow the guy. But even if they bring 2, you're going to likely not make clear them both out. So it makes it tricky to battle into. It's very good for the Shadow Collector player. Typically, they're happy to put guys with benefit sites.
He does have Clash in his hand, so he can deploy, wing, clash him out.
Yeah, battle hit. Especially if he's got a Lisa or a Blaster Deflection, you probably live with the random odds he might hit with Maul, because that's only +2 against a 7. But yeah, if you can hit here and then clash, that makes the gun go lost, which is nice. On the other hand, that means you don't have the clash, and you may want that because he's going to be able to battle back in with probably multiple guys, and being able to clash that down is really helpful for whittling through them.
Yeah, this seems like a solid play. I mean, I don't know what else is in hand. Maybe a Stunning Leader Canceller, but I don't think you're worried about getting overflowed. Mace getting overflowed.
That'll be a hit with Luke gonna speak.
So
messing
combo, and he can't.
He tries to Sarium.
Cancels the
He
burst combo.
balances.
Effectively, it's 2 force loss. Nothing, and he was open for the. And that means Joe gets to shoot back.
Now he can clash though. So
Yeah, he can clash, but it's just at that point you burn a clash. Sorry, lost a force, spent 2 force.
All good.
Just she's
Blaster off the table.
Oh, hey, look at that.
I think it's still worth it because you kill a gun, right? Like. Well, he said Furious Caesar, then he's back.
Ooh, that was an Ellis. That could come into play later. 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, you can't hit these. 2 Misasi Temple. You could grab Imbalance, but he probably would rather grab something like Masterful Move, actually.
So he clashed him out.
Because he may have 1 copy, he may have 2 copies. It's possible you can solo for it, but like grabbing Imbalance, probably not going to do a lot for you.
One bummer about Caesar too is like you can't draw 2 with the lawless time.
True.
So like
we almost
if you
cut
want to crack
Lawless Time
Mace,
completely out of the deck. Like, cause yeah, you end up just holding it to add Destiny occasionally, but
yeah.
a lot of times they're more impactful cards you can play. And yeah, a lot of the drops, otherwise you're like, yeah, I can't actually add to this guy. So now Joe's gonna have 2, 4,
Now
6, 10, 11, 12.
Joe really needs that other first lights not activated.
Yeah. So Joe's got 12, which is enough to drop. So it looks like, I'm pretty sure Jeff only has 1 left, which means he can't threaten the clash, and he just had it canceled, so the odds of him having another one are not great. Which means if Joe just comes down with pretty much any 2 guys, like a gangster into something, oh yeah, he'll definitely find guys.
Yeah.
In battle in the mace, he doesn't have to hit him or break him with attrition, he can just kill him with power. Because 2 guys are going to be 8 or 9 power, and one's a gangster. He put another gangster. Well, I guess he can't flip it without the 3rd sight or without hitting mace, so that would get the actual Destiny power. But even so, just like 2 guys in mauls, effectively like 10 or 11 to mace at 6. So you can make him peel a bunch. Which, to be fair, is the commuting player. Sometimes that's the right play. Like some of our testing games get shadow collected. It'd be things like, okay, I guess I have to like peel 11 to keep Luke on the table. Okay. Like you just
It's worth it
you do the
sometimes,
3,
yeah,
like, I'll
it's
just keep
definitely
going,
worth it
you know, like,
sometimes,
you keep
yeah.
on the table, like you just want to keep your guys on the table.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's worth
I've made
it.
that play myself before, yes.
That happens against Ral Ops too, I think.
Yeah.
A lot.
To Crazy Carlos, Mind Tricks isn't getting errated. Slip Sliding Away is going to be errated, so that the effects have to deploy for free. And I think it's going to be a mobile system as well, so they won't be able to play the 3rd marker anymore, which isn't necessarily a huge impact on the deck. There's some cases to be made. You could run a Cloud City site, like the Upper Walkway or something, that's fine. But the bigger thing is not being able to start Mind Tricks, so they don't have the automatic gick. So they can't just go Guy Gun, do a Drain 2, Ping 1 site right away. So that'll change how the deck plays a bit.
Anyways, in the meantime, we got Olson and who's it, Hondo Okana or something.
Yeah, he probably did Hondo Onaka and I didn't see. Did he go R from hand or did he pull R from the deck?
He pulled Aura
Yeah,
from
which is a
reserve deck.
beautiful combo. So yeah, that right there. Yeah, I mean, if Jeff doesn't have Blaster Deflection, Aura will hit Mace. That's
Most likely, yeah. Well, he did have a lot of characters in his deck, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Joe's
those
probably got
Destiny
another
didn't
Sith
look
Fury
that
in
great.
hand. Oh, there's
He's
the
probably
Dengar.
Dengar as well. That is a lot
Lightly
of guns.
concerned.
Yeah. Oh, and that beat the battle.
Just takes the saber.
Brutal.
Almost wish it was Aura saying non-V at this point.
Oh man. That would be golden.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, Jeff's got a 4-card hand.
I did not know Joe was playing that card.
Well, obviously Jeff didn't either. Otherwise, he might have had his shield out.
So there's a shot. Mighty Job is not going to get the job done. Alright, so yeah, so Aura got Blaster deflected.
He's gonna try. Get him. So many shots. Okay, then he does Blaster Deflect. Auras.
Oh, hi Chris. Oh, sorry, I thought that had already been announced. I thought I saw it before I posted.
Can't Aura Sing use stolen sabers?
Not the virtual one.
Non-V?
The non-V one can.
Man, he should have been playing the non-V ones.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to mention that to Joe afterwards that he's playing the suboptimal Aura.
I just for the drain, because she already is a lightsaber, right? Against Jedi.
There's another Aura.
Four to twos, that's 5.
No, he used the Sandovex, so it should be a 4.
No, yeah, I was just counting power. It was 10 to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They lost by 3.
We should lose Dengar, I just assume.
Yeah, Dengar's enough. Oh god.
If I was Joe, I'd consider moving Maul. Like what?
Looks like Jeff peeled about 3 cards there to keep Mace on table.
Oh, it's because he drew a 1 for Battle Destiny, so his power, because he didn't hit Mace, so
Right.
he had no Destiny to power, which means it was 3, 7, 8, 9, 10,
He drew a 2.
11,
He drew Aura.
12. Yeah. Because it was a 4, which I was Dengar. Well, Dengar should have gotten less than 3, but yeah, so he had something to keep Mace. But yeah, I mean, Mace without a saber is like, well, he's a guy in a body.
Yeah,
He's Unity.
he's a little toothless.
Not ideal.
He is moving Maul.
Still better than eating another drain and a ping, though.
Now I can look at his force pile. Oh no, he's not flipped. Never mind. I saw like all red in Jeff's hand, so I don't know if he has a character.
I mean, he only had like 4 cards, yeah, so he can do a Qui-Gon Peak.
He needs a weapon left.
His own weapon left, that'd be like reverse blowout.
That'd be amazing. Give me that back.
Oh man. Day 3 to Drain 3, like, Joe's really happy to see that, because that means he's not saving force to drop a bunch of guys.
Mm-hmm. Now I think he might try to Odin over to the defensive perimeter. Because I think he has an Odin in his hand.
But then Joe would just Maul back over.
Yeah, for sure.
he could battle and then maul over.
Deploying another character means he's probably almost certainly going to transport out of there somehow.
Yeah, he's gotta.
No reason to keep adding to that
looks
stack
like
if
he
you're not
is
going
gonna be
somewhere
doing
with it.
Probably has the EGP, otherwise you have to figure out where Mace is gonna go. So he's like walking the tree. It looks like.
Oh, he's taking back. Oh, he doesn't have secret plans. Nice. So he got a free retrieval with Walkling. Took back Mace. Leia takes a stick. Was it a stick that he retrieved? Right?
I did not see what he retrieved.
No, it was from. I was not going to top it off by anything. Very shameful. I should have known.
Was it Leia's gun? I don't remember.
Scooped up the bottom card force pile
Oh,
with Ray.
there's the
it's a
Nabrin.
Nabrin, not even a Odin Nesler. It's
Ooh.
deploy phase transport. Grab from Joe on that one.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, Leia's
Leia's
gun.
gun
There we
goes
go.
down.
Alright,
That could-
alright.
that
That's
could
what I
change
think. That's
things
what
a
it
little bit.
was. He retrieved Leia's gun and then used the. You just pulled it.
So that's what it was,
Yeah.
Leia's gun.
Alright. He's got two. And he's gonna go for the battle. Does he have some in his reserve deck to draw all his destinies?
I know.
He's got a little bit of a shadow.
I don't know if he'll be able to. Maybe. Might not be able to swing twice.
I mean, if he can Leia's gun Danik right here, that's big, because now he can't hit anybody and flip. There's no gangster there anywhere, though. But still, like, the gun will go lost, Danik will go lost.
Oh yeah, it definitely Danik is the target. He's so easy to hit too.
Wait, how did he...
Got him with a saber and is using mess.
He just drew like a 1-1. Oh, Anakin drawing it plus. He actually.
Yeah, he Anakin'd, and then he sorry about the mess him instead of
Well,
Leia's
I'm
gunning.
wondering if Maul subtracted, he would have missed. Oh, I guess he's thinking Leia's gonna minuet. I don't know.
Because Danik's defense 3, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
2.
it was because he drew Lando and Chewie. Those are both 1s.
Oh, Anakin.
Danik's 2, I think.
Yeah, Anakin they become 2s, but he could have Maul subtracted 1 is the thing.
Oh, he's 3.
He could have. It looked like he could have made a miss.
So that was another lightsaber swing. How many of those characters are leaders? Just Leia? Or Leia's not even there. So yeah, she has to be. That's her gun. Leia's not even there. She just put.
I'm not sure what is happening with Leia's gun there.
I don't think Leia's underneath it. I think Leia's there.
So he put Leia's gun, and then he
Yeah,
didn't.
there's
Oh, Leia is. Oh, it's looks like it's Resistance Leia.
I'm gonna say she's the only leader there in case Sam Wessel dies.
Yep.
Why didn't he pull aim high or
Or-
secret plans out?
Is she not a leader? Just didn't see any force loss there for Sam Wessel.
Oh, he didn't have to.
Because
either.
didn't he get a retrieval from Leia too?
He'd had to have lost Leia for it to matter.
Oh, right. Now when Sam dies, is when Leia dies.
Yeah, Joe's got a problem with aim high and
I think he was just so like, oh god, what am I gonna do here? That he forgot to pull it, maybe. I don't think he retrieved with Leia anyways. So, it didn't really matter, but...
No.
Oh, he's
That's
fighting just
crazy.
to kill him off.
He's battling with Mace just to get Mace killed. So that he's not a super
7.
liability.
so Mace would be hit.
Is that a 2 or a 3?
It's a 2 and a 4. So then
Oh, 4,
that'd be 7 and
the
the add
plus
one
one
to
is still
Maul,
miss.
right?
Yeah, but I don't know. Did he not do it? I don't...
A 2 and a 4 with the +1 still is going to miss, though.
No, Aura's +1 though.
Horus
Oh,
plus
yeah,
one,
R's +1. Oh, yeah, so that would have been an 8. Maybe he thinks he has a Wisa. Maybe he's thinking of saving it for the power to make sure that
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Jeez. This is why I hate this deck. Just draw ones all day.
Yeah, I think Joe went down to only 2 Sis Fury. Hayes and I were pretty sure that 3 was the correct number.
This feels bad playing all those. But yeah. Besides, obviously not
That's
pulling
pretty good Battle Destiny.
the shield,
So yeah, with that 6, that definitely clears Mace.
Jeff's played pretty well here.
Yeah, it was a solid stabilization there.
So Joe really wants to get out the 3rd site now, because then he could get resistance up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's grab the neighboring. Mace is dead. His saber's captured. Anakin and Luke's sabers are both there, as is Leia's gun. So there's potentially like a General Obi with a saber still floating around, possibly. There's
Did
a
he
BB-8.
just lose? Did he just lose 2 or 1?
Gotta imagine Joe's gonna try and set up resistance this turn to
I don't know if battle
cap
plans
that
out.
drain.
Yeah, I can't tell how much the life force counts are at. It's hard to say.
I think he
Yeah,
lost
it does
2.
go
He's
to the
supposed to
farm.
lose 1. Maybe I'm seeing things though.
There's the site.
There it is. Nice.
How many cards are in Jeff's hand? Doesn't look like there's many.
Not a lot. Like, I want to say like 3.
I'll
2
go
or 3.
do some reporting and see if there's anything interesting to be gleaned.
He didn't pay for the drain. Oh, did he? No, I don't think he paid for the drain. I don't know why he lost 2, but.
Interesting that he's separating the 2 sites.
Yeah, I'm sure he's gonna move them all over there just to set up resistance and cap that drain, because that's what 4 coming back at him from the 3rd marker.
Yeah, I was just thinking if he had deployed the sites together, he could have had Aura alone and Hondo alone, and then moved Maul to like the JCC
Oh,
because he can move to any site,
That would
I mean,
be
it's-
an interesting play for sure.
and then he'd be, Jeff would want to go at one of probably the site with the blaster.
yeah, Jeff wouldn't be able to attack all those sites.
So I think at this point, I know I saw Odin in his hand. So it's a matter of if he doesn't. He needs to keep a character or 2, probably only 1 or 2 at the defensive perimeter when he Odin Nestler's away, because if he has to keep he'll move if he moves his whole stack and then all he has to do is put another character and keep satisfying resistance. He has to constantly chase him, right?
Alright. Got the life force
But-
totals.
The nice thing, the really nice thing about Qui-Gon Quimmuning is this situation right here, where you have no cards in your hand, but you have Rey to take a card, and you have the Qui-Gon to take a card. So your hand isn't actually that small. Plus you can scry, right? So
Yeah, it's very easy to find the cards you want.
Alright, so they just counted. Jeff had 21 in life force and 2 in hand, which I believe were a disarmed and Odin combo. Joe had 12 in hand and 15 in life force.
okay.
Big hand advantage in Joe's favor.
It's crazy. Joe even just lost 2 off the deck, even though he's got a 12 card hand.
Yeah, that's what I was just
Alright,
thinking
so Blaster
too.
Deflection run, Sense combo, and Luke in your deck as well.
Probably not super happy to see a weapon there. So that was 6-4-4-4. Is that what was it?
There's a sense combo in there.
Okay, 6-3-4-4. Who's left for characters? You got
So
a
yeah, let's see what
Mace.
Jeff does here. Oh,
Yoda.
Oh, so he just flipped it in his control phase with lawless time. So if Jeff doesn't clear him off of battleground, Jeff's actually going to lose a force from that at the end of this turn.
Grabs that.
Do you lose his force for hitting characters now too, or something? Is that correct?
No, the flip side, it just lets you. So when you flip it, you can choose your circuit and reshuffle.
Right.
While flipped, you can add a Destiny to power in battle when you have
That's
a
what it
non-unique
is.
blaster with your gangster leader, and if Maul's alone during. I remember it's any draw phase or your draw phase, you can look at your the cards in your force battle.
So there's that Odin combo. Let's see who he's transporting here. It's like Luke and Leia for starters.
He can go harder
Nice.
than that, right?
Flip the wrong card there.
Only 2, huh? He drew from his force pile. Whoops. Well, he drew the 3, so he knows what's in his deck. He's still got 4, 4, 6.
He's pulling the only Jedi carry the weapon this time.
Yeah.
Please do learn from his mistake.
So leaves one. Oh no, is he gonna do all of it?
No
Interesting.
reserve.
Yeah.
So he can ping one.
Oh, his objectives should flip back, which pings him
right,
for
pings
one
him at the end
immediately.
of the turn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of times the Shadow Collector, you just leave one and you activate down to it, and then you battle and hit somebody. And, ooh, disarmed on Maul.
Ooh, I love that card, especially with
Another
Walkway.
gun down.
In the movies, he got dislegged.
Disarmed and dislegged, actually, that means he's almost an Anakin.
Yeah, it's 3/4
I
of the
think
way
they're
there.
even, right? Isn't it 3 or 4 for Anakin too?
Is it?
Yeah. Seems fair. So. let's see the
Who's at the
Joes.
third marker? It's Rey, Anakin, and Padme.
So with already having used the grabber, that
Rey,
means
Padme.
that Jeff
Yeah,
is now
that's right.
able to use Qui-Gon to loop his Odin combo, so he can block a drain wherever. So Joe's gonna have to set up a battle here to deal with that. Ping for one. You might.
I mean, I can't imagine he's going to battle with no cards in reserve, though.
No, he can't battle this turn. He's gonna have to set it up. But that's another drain too. So he left Anakin behind. So he loses resistance. That's a drain of 3 at the third marker, and then a drain of 2 at that first light site.
Yeah, this game is far from over, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, Jeff is stabilized impressively right here.
Yeah, I agree. He's done a really good job to get back in this one.
Oh, that's right. So Chris Kelly points out that because he has 2 gangsters controlling 2 sites, he can actually choose to flip and
Oh, right,
recirculate
right.
even
That's
with nothing in
tactics.
the deck. He doesn't have to hit somebody. This is why we let the design guy tell us what the cards all about. Clearly, I did not prepare enough for this event. I just know mostly what the cards do. Chris Kelly, other than accidentally spoiling stuff, is there anything else you want us to talk about particularly while we're here? Yeah, so Joe's thinking through how's he set the destinies, what are his outs, what's his plan, knowing that the Odin combo, he's got to move him around, he has to figure out how to deal with it eventually. It's just running away won't get the job done, because if he just has a gun and can pay 3 to drain 1, he can do 3 damage, but without being on 3 battlegrounds, that's exactly how much Jeff is going to do for 1 drain. So it does impact him significantly.
I think Joe does has a maul. I think he has a maul strikes in hand.
Yeah, so Joe is throwing some guys down over
Dr.
there.
He's
Oh, changing his mind. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. So Reed Smith would point out that's a no fair barrier bluff. If you put him there, not barrier, then you want to put him somewhere else.
It's like a string bet, kind of. Or what do they call it?
Yeah. Mighty Jabba. Still got a handful
So you
of
think
red.
Joe's got a neighbor in here or something? Looks. I can't imagine why he's pumping more characters
we
into
saw
that
him,
site.
So we did see
He's
him
drawn it for
draw an
Destiny,
Ellis
yeah.
earlier. So we know he's got an Ellis. It's does he have an Ellis in hand? Because we haven't seen him point man. He doesn't have Forlom on the table, so he doesn't have ways to just grab stuff. Shadow Collective shuffles so much, like it can be
Hard to keep track of stuff.
Yeah,
in your
it's
deck.
weird. Unless you're like activating just down to the last card, it's a 7 you put
Yeah.
back. Like it can be tricky to actually keep track of particular cards.
Yeah, I have a hard time imagining he's putting more characters to that site when if he's not gonna move them somewhere else.
He's got the red. He's got to figure out what to do with it.
There's the flip and recirculate. Oh, it's a shuffle recirculate.
Yep.
Can't just stack your deck that easy.
If he has a Gick, there's no draw their fire or anything. He may actually just leave them all in front. Oh, there's the
There's
Ellis.
the Ellis.
There's the Ellis. All right.
Oh,
Oh,
the price of gas these days, though.
oh, that's a bad beat. Looks like
Aye.
I think he has 5 left, and that was a 6.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, that's huge. Mighty Jabba over Virtual Jabba. Oh, he's gonna retrieve the Ellis. Nice.
Adds
He's got 3 leaders, so he'll retrieve 3. Oh, including 2 guns. That's good. Anyway, so Mighty Jabba over V. So Mighty Jabba adds a destiny with any of your leaders, whereas Jabba V is going to double someone's power. So those things are roughly equivalent. Mighty Jabba does cost 1 more. He also has the can't be hit text, which is interesting. I think the conclusion has been that being able to add the destiny is more important than doubling the power, because the attrition is really helpful. Because with the guns, like a lot of times this is what happens, is you'll see the third marker, like Luke and Ray or something, and people will deploy the guy with the gun, you shoot Luke and the blaster deflects and you're sad, and it's like, well, but why'd you bother doing that when you could have just shot Ray, made her not able to do attrition, then get 6 attrition. Like this deck can get 6 attrition pretty easy. And so Jabba adding destiny is another thing in that line, just making sure that it happens. Oof. That was exciting. All right, let's see.
Yeah, that was
see
a
what
tough
Joe
draw on that
pulled
Ellis.
out. Oh man.
Yeah.
So
It's
bad.
gonna set him
And
back
now
a
he's
little
not
bit.
ultimatuming, so he's got a drain of 3 and a drain of 2. He just wants to pay. That's a pretty big swing.
So he does have weapon rotation in hand again somehow. Yeah, that's
It
actually.
was some time ago we played.
Yeah. Well, I know. He
Oh,
played
it's the
it.
lost
It's
function,
lost.
though.
Yeah.
Does he run 2 of them?
Goes lost. No. So it must have retreated somehow. I'm just trying to figure out how. Yeah. So that's an interesting piece of this, because you can definitely set up a 6 or a 7 to pull that weapon load off. Yeah, he's gonna eat 5 damage here. He's gonna lose a couple from hand. Interesting.
Yeah, Joe's still just peeling off the deck.
Yep.
Another 2.
You cannot hide forever. What's that for?
See, the onus is very much on Joe to change this here, because Jeff's definitely pulled ahead as far as the damage.
Yeah, I
goes.
think you're right. He's managed to swing the momentum around
Oh,
to his
so it's
side.
a first strike. He's got a first strike. That's interesting.
He only has Dr. E in his hand, though, and that,
Alright,
he's
so
already
that
on the
was
table, right?
10. Still got another 4 with 1 in reserve.
It's like he's drawing and
Yeah,
saving.
you do.
Solo means now he's got blaster proficiency at the very least. In the lost pile.
Looking bleak for Joe.
Joe right now is undoubtedly tracking to wherever that Ellis is.
Yeah, it should be like...
So Crazy Carlos, no, that was there was a long break for lunch, and also during that we got a sneak peek of the amazing documentary that Brandon Beatty.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was awesome.
That was made me looking really forward to that one.
Yeah, that's gonna be so cool. I can't wait. Actually, it's gonna be really great to get to show that to people.
Right. Explain.
Who don't know.
Finally explain. Like, this is what we've been doing.
20 years, you know, and all these good people like Jan been hanging out with. Like, this is what's been going on. This is why we love this, why we get together and keep playing it.
Yeah,
20
looks
years
like
after it's been
Brandon's doing a really good job with that documentary.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, because the thing is, especially playing live, like 60 minutes. A lot of times the game is not going to be finished, so you grind the full 60 minutes, and then another few minutes to figure out the actual diff, figure out who wins, and then it's like the next pairing. And so if you don't have like a fixed lunch break in there, you can totally get stuck where you're just like playing nonstop for like 6-8 hours, no food. So yeah, they usually try and do lunch break after like game 3. Alright.
So I think Joe's figuring out how much he wants to activate right now.
Activate, where's the Ellis?
Yeah, figure out how we can get that Ellis back in his hand. He doesn't have like a 4 alarm or anything to pick it up though, so I mean.
He might have a point man in hand.
But that's still draw phase though, right?
Yeah, and then he's actually have to wait. He's only 5, but.
Want to do something about it this turn, but I don't know if he can.
If he's got a gig, he can always move them all over. But again, with the Blast Efficiency, unless he's got the imbalance combo in hand.
And he already burned his gig effect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he certainly has a gig as well. That's fine. Alright, activating it all.
Was it a drain 2 there? Just...
I assume he's going to use the weapon left to pick up one of his blasters.
Drain 1.
Yeah.
Did you say that was timing around?
They did call 20 minutes a little while ago.
Yeah. I didn't think it was 20 minutes ago, though.
I didn't think it was either.
There's the move.
Alright, there we go.
He's been posting it on Slack.
If that's time, though, that's really unfortunate because Joe just set up a drain of... an extra drain of 3, but he's not going to get to do it. Though if Shizor dies, then also...
Why did he
Game 4 ends
flip
at 350,
shot?
I think it was 10 minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes left in the round. Alright, that makes more sense. Yeah, I was like, ain't no way that's been 20 minutes.
He should have peeked at his force power.
Okay.
Everyone forgets that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
figured that one
good
too.
point, Charlie. Give him a hard time. I thought you should text him about that. Dude, Joe,
Yeah, you
after the
texted
game,
him
of
about
course. Alright, so his reserve deck is a Rose and a Baragwin with 2 cards he would love to have on the table right now.
Yeah, get some retrieval going.
Yeah. So a little late for either of them to have much impact at this point. We'll see.
Well, he doesn't. I he just chase around with Odin. That's their combo now. He can just keep finding it with Ray and his and Bygone. So draining for 5 is not manageable.
Yeah, draining for 5 isn't bad here.
Well, I mean, the life force counts are getting low. They're both below 30 when you went out there and counted.
Yeah. I mean, his last turn, Jeff had 15.
Joe has Ellis in hand now, right?
Yes,
I believe he should have it in hand now.
I think so.
I'm surprised he's not trying to block a drain. Right.
Yeah,
Jeff has
just
1
Ellis.
force in reserve. He's not going to initiate battle.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, he can't because he's got solo.
Card's
Because
amazing.
he can just sorry him.
Especially when you
Unless
draw
he has
sets.
imbalance in his hand.
Hit Jedi Masters. Best part is like he has like Shizor against like the Jedi and Rey. You like hit the Jedi, Wounded Warrior, and then Rey's a 4, so just
Well,
get
he had
a draw
imbalance in
because
his
Shizor's
hand.
so
Right, 'cause
Yeah, he's
Shizor.
good on that.
Just do hilarious stuff.
Yeah, it's just so strong. I mean, especially if you have like Aura's gun or something, power 0, forward 0.
Yeah. Now the ability to do the reserve, that is such a powerful mechanic. It's been interesting seeing that explored over
Yeah.
the last, the virtual sets, right? You got a few characters that you recirculate once per game. You got Shadow Collective with the recirculation. Like, it just changes the late game map.
Yeah, so I'd say
It's-
late game especially is where it really is huge because you still
Yeah.
can spend all that force and have destinies to draw.
Yeah.
If he had
Well, yeah. I mean, he only has one card. He has Rose, right? So he could just. It's not high enough to kill Prince Caesar, actually. So,
2,
yeah.
4,
Because he
6.
could just kill Prince Caesar and then Maul is irrelevant
He's only got 6 though.
with simple tricks.
And
Otherwise,
Maul's
he's
on
just
table,
gonna-
so even drawing a 5 with Rose would not kill Shizor because he'd subtract
Yeah.
1. So,
Unless it was Anakin, who's already on table.
yeah, Anakin's on table. Anakin against
And
Shizor
Rey.
is a bad call.
Yeah, that's a bad call.
A few things is disappointing is not drawing Destiny with Anakin Skywalker.
He needs Solo with a heading for the medical frigate.
Alright, oh, he just goes through the circuit. Alright, so he's just going to eat the drain. Decided there's nothing he can do about it. Joe's trying to figure
I still
out.
think he wins by a few cards if he just holds this.
I mean, at this point, yeah. I mean, because Joe can drain for 3, ping 1, that's 4, and then he could still even drain for another 5 or 6 if he wants. Without the life force.
Fix max to 5.
Alright, that means also he's not going to else unless it's like new phase. Alright, there's 3. Ring 1. Down for Shizor. Right down to the wire.
He's got Gick, First Strike.
Gig, First Strike, Gun, and wasn't sure the fourth one. Maybe it's his Fury, maybe an Ellis, maybe something.
Into Fury. Yeah, into Fury.
So that was not, so what, 6? Drained twice. Recirculated.
He does not have the Ellis.
Can't get to a third battleground to ping with that. 5, 6. Alright, so
that's pretty good.
I bet. Nope, he's just gonna go all. Alright, so he's not Odin combo then. Alright, so gonna drain. Goes for a strike and a gun. 3. Jeff's checking the count.
Yeah, gotta do some math now.
There's the General Kenobi.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Hello there. That's what it
Oh,
is.
that's interesting. So he goes to block it. If he had a 5, because Obi can add 1, he could have battled into Shizor and got Shizor off the table, which cancels that drain and cancels
Yeah,
the ping.
exactly, because then you got
Forcing them to pay
a
to
simple
deploy
tricks back
somebody.
in effect.
So, interesting decision. But I guess he may not have been able to afford. Because I don't think he even did both drains. I think he just did 1 drain and then did
The
that.
other thing is Maul's fully immune here because the Phantom Menace still on table,
Yeah,
right?
so Obi adds 1 to it, can add 1 to his Battle Destiny. Maul can negate that and add 1 to his own, which makes it like 5 on however many Jedi are stacked on Quimmuning, because that's +1, if not +2. Looks like just Qui-Gon, so +1. So Obi is power 7, so he's up by 2 on Maul. But at the same time, if Maul dies, Phantom Menace goes used.
Yes.
So-
One more life force back.
Yeah, so
Looks like Joe just drained and checked his deck.
yeah, he's got a Sith Fury in there. It's 4. He's got a 2 flip. There we go. Now he's gonna move over. So
I only counted about 7 cards on Jeff's life force
yeah,
there.
that was 7. I agree. All right, so then Lee 1. What's he gonna do? Oh no, he's doing all of it. For 1. Oh, Ellis from hand.
Yeah, it's too expensive to play at this point.
3 drains.
So he had
2.
6 with 1 down, 1 in hand. So that would be 7, 8. Walking already popped, I think it was.
I think it did get popped. Yeah, I mean, I don't see it over there.
That's 8. And he just says go.
Yeah,
Joe
Walking
then has
got
3, so he can ping, drain to get him down to 1 drain, but then he gets drained back. And
Well, if he
you'll be
moves
down-
in
bring it
front,
down
you can
to
also get a
exactly
damage
3.
with its
He would need to do
objective.
1 more.
Wow, yeah, this is
Yeah.
going to come right down to the wire. Yeah, that free damage from You'll Be Dead might just be enough.
So, well, if he moves the 2 guys out to the battleground, that's what he has to do, because that actually lets him flip. Remember to
Yeah.
flip.
Gets to the
See if he
extra
remembers
thing.
to flip before he moves over.
But he has, if he wants to drain, he needs, yeah.
Because he's
he
got to
has
have.
move.
He must have held on to
Can't
the
drain.
gig, so he can move in front and actually do a ping damage for doing that. Which means the You'll Be Dead of 2 damage next time would knock him below being able to pay the drain. Yep. So yeah. So
How much
now
force is he on his force pile? 1 or 3? Or sorry,
he had
3 or 4.
3, so now he's down to 1. And now he can. He leaves Maul, and that way if Obi were to battle, he can get the Phantom Menace used. So yeah, here's the draws, just goes down to 2 life force. But he pings and hits him for 1, yep. And so now Jeff, I think he's at 5.
Yeah, and I think he's got enough to pay for 1 drain.
But if he pays a drain, he can't battle, so he has to figure out, like, do I want to battle, do I want to drain? Like, those are his choices. I kind of wish Joe had actually moved Maul over, because that way, if he does battle here, Joe would then have been able to move Maul in front next time in a way that right now he can't.
I don't think Joe should have drawn there.
And that would have
Right.
got blocked and pinged another 1. So
He's just expecting him to drain it, so. He's gonna
Jeff's gonna win on time. Time was just
Oh,
called.
man. Yeah, that is true. It's going to end on this turn. So
Or I mean, if Joe's only gonna do 2 here, so he still would have 3 to pay to drain because Joe can pay to drain. So yeah, I think Jeff gets this. Looks like.
He's trying to solo.
sorry about the mess out of Lost Pile to shoot in the control phase.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. Yeah. Oof.
He doesn't have to pay, he could just use loot, right?
Let's go ahead and just
So Joe can do what? Ping for 3 here?
Yeah.
I think are they just doing the math there?
I think they might just be playing it out. I'm not sure. Yeah, now he can't drain, so, I mean, if it got played out, I think Joe would have won this game.
Yep. It's possible. Oh, they might have started like 2 minutes late for the feature match.
I think they started right about on time when they called it, but
So Leia and Luke are power 9 against RS4. There's just gonna draw. And Maul's out, so Luke couldn't redraw it. Yep.
If he would have remembered to use Leia's text, I don't think he retrieved with Leia's text at all. Like, he could have just been fighting R. Singh, right? Because, like,
Well, we'll see how much time they have left here. I mean, like, technically, if Jeff just is able to get time called here, he's still up 2-1. Don't know. It's okay.
glad to hear that, Taco Detector. Not quite sure what you're talking about.
Detector.
Amazing.
But congratulations on getting off probation.
So he battled to get that card back, but that doesn't matter. What is happening?
Yeah, this is where we need
Fight,
like
he
a
killed
mic
Leia.
we can listen in on or something.
Like, ping, ping, ping. I mean, you can't pay the drain, so free damage will win. Yeah, Joe with his all one card.
I guess, yeah, looks like Joe by one.
How is our... Wait, what happened to our Sing? He peeked out and then he can't ping, right? Then he loses the ability to ping. Huh.
I don't think Aura ever died.
He just needed to kill that site. Like, then he wouldn't have got any of that ping damage. It's hard when you get down to time and like the way you play is way different, and I don't know. But I thought that was overall a really good game.
Yeah, that's been the most competitive game we've had on stream today. Some very interesting tech there in the weapon love.
Anyways, I think Phil's going out there to get the scoop for us on how exactly those last turns transpired. We'll probably get one of them in here for an interview as well, so. If you got any questions for Joe or Jeff, go ahead and post them in chat and get their answers live here on stream for you.
Use the bathroom really quick.
What did they have for lunch? I know Taco Bell is like a good option nearby. Or
Tell them it's
is there
yours.
Taco Bell
I'll just
near
fake
there?
it out. Or probably people aren't watching. I mean, look game just that. Yeah.
Yeah, so both the players are trying to gear up for the next game since that one went to time. They're declined interviews. We don't want to take away the little bit of time they have in between games, so.
Joe prefers the 5-hour live stream report format anyway.
You prefer, I'm sorry, you were yelling in my ear. I had to take the headphones off.
Oh, Joe prefers the 5-hour live stream tournament report anyway.
Yeah, you'll have to tune in for that to